Well, now I have a special script to read here, some notes that was given to me by our next performer, who has the longest running public access TV show in the world for 46 years on 69 TV stations, Boston to San Diego. Wait a minute, this is the hardest part. 4,900 TV shows, is that right? Yes, I think so. 4,900 TV shows. Well, I guess I don't even have to say her name. It's obviously Glendora. She got here early today, and she's been sitting there, and she's melted a little bit. But anyway, give it up for Glendora.
How are you tonight, folks?
Good, how are you?
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
You know your stuff.
Now, folks, this Methodist minister and his wife came home from church during Christmas service. There were quite a few services during Christmas. She flopped down on the chair. And she said, "I'm exhausted." And he says, "You're exhausted." I had to write 5 sermons and deliver 5 sermons, and she said I had to listen to them. Yeah. And I called up a friend, folks, to help me with the correspondence, and he says, "I can't come, there's a death in the family." And I said, "Who died?" And he said, "The computer." The teacher said, "Draw a picture of the nativity scene." And the little girl brought up her picture, and the teacher said, "Oh, this is great. Oh, there's Jesus, there's Joseph, there's Mary. What's this little stand with the box in the corner?" "That's their computer." The minister gave the congregation an assignment. He says, "When you come to church next Sunday during the week, I want you all to read chapter 7 of the book of Mark. And I'll ask you if you did it." So the next Sunday, the minister said, "How many of you read chapter 17 of the book of Mark?" And all the hands went up. Interesting, he said. There's only 16 chapters in Mark. This camping party was hopelessly lost in the northern woods of Maine, and they wandered around for hours. Finally, one of them got up enough courage to say, "You told us you were the best guide in the state of Maine." And he said, I am, but right now I think we're in Canada." I don't have an opposable thumb. The little boy was late for school, folks, and he was running. The little boy was late for school, and he was running as fast as he could. And he goes under, takes a shortcut. He goes under the barbed wire fence. The barbed wire fence caught his pants, made a tear. He runs into the classroom, and the teacher says, "I see you're a little behind this morning." He said it was a barbed wire fence. Why did the bunny rabbit ask to be changed into a goon within the next 24 hours? Hair today and goon tomorrow? The little old man and the little old lady, folks, were called into summons court because she stole a can of peaches. And the judge says, "Well, how many peaches in the can?" She said, 3. He said, "You are hereby summoned to 3 days in jail, 1 day for each peach." And the little old man says, "Well, can I say something?" The judge said, "Be brave." The little old man said, "She also stole a can of peas." At the bridge table, one woman said, "When I'm down in the dumps, I buy clothes." And the woman at the next table said, "I was wondering where she got them." dog, are you bilingual? And the dog says, woof, meow. Oh, that's my grocery list. But it's funny. I did a spot on WRGB Channel 6 a couple weeks ago on the 5 p.m. news. And I'll do the spot for you. It was a half a minute. I had on this suit, and we started with a picture of nothing but the head. And then, hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this TV show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load up your grocery cart with veggie meat? Hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. Another thing I'd like to mention to you folks. Do you agree that when all is said and done, the only thing that really mattered is how you treated others? Do you agree? A picketer was carrying a sign that said, "Time heals all wounds." And the picketer behind him said, a sign that said, "Time and a half heals them faster." An earthquake was reported to be on its way in California. So this couple sent their young son deep into the interior where he would be safe with an uncle. In 2 days they got an email that said, "Returning the boy, send the earthquake." Now, this man was a fan of the great composer, Ludwig van Beethoven, and he went to the composer's grave, and he's standing there, folks, and here are all these Beethoven symphonies coming out of the ground. But they are being played in the reverse. They're being played backwards, and they're being played in the reverse order in which they were written. Beethoven's 9th, Beethoven's 8th, 7th, 6th, way down to the 1st. And he says, "I don't get it." To the grave digger. He said to the grave digger, "I don't get it. I'm trying to hear these Beethoven symphonies. They're being played backwards. They're being played in reverse order in which they were written." And the grave digger says, "Don't you get it? He's decomposing." A little boy and his sister are in the living room watching a video on the birth of Christ. The little boy says, "What is a virgin?" And his older sister said, "A virgin is a woman who eats all of her vegetables." "Daddy, what causes rain?" "Daddy, cold fronts, low pressure areas in the first day of your vacation." The bank robber said to the bank teller, "One peep out of you and your geography." And she said, "Don't you mean history?" He said, "Don't change the subject." The sign in the restaurant window said, "Blended coffee," and a customer said, "What is it a blend of?" And the waitress said, "Yesterday's and today's." The minister gave a stirring sermon, and he says, "I'm going to take all the beer in this town and put it in the river. And put it in the river." And the next hymn was, "We'll all gather at the river." A little girl was noisy in church, and her mother whispered something into her ear. And the little girl calmed right down, right to the end of the service. And afterwards the mother was asked, "What did you whisper in her ear?" Mother said, "I told her, if you make a noise, the minister's going to lose his place and start the sermon all over again." This Foltz was very close to dying. And everybody knew that he had only a few hours left. However, he was home. His wife baked a batch of cookies. He leaned over and took one. And she said, "Don't eat those, I need them for the funeral." The teacher said, "Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied the answers of the little girl across the aisle. The first question was, who was the first president of the United States? She wrote Washington, and you wrote Washington. And the second question was, who was president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln, and you wrote Lincoln. And the last question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote me neither."
So now we're going to hear from Carol Anderson, the organist here at the